And now we welcome to the stage our keynote speaker. We all came to Toastmasters looking for a way to become a better version of ourselves. We can all tell our own story of MyWhy. Our keynote speaker tonight is past international president and fellow Texan distinguished Toastmaster Lark Doley. Lark lives in a lighthouse home outside of Austin, overlooking Lake Travis. The home was built by her late husband, Roger, in honor of her late father-in-law, Arthur. At the 2018 Toastmasters Convention held in Chicago, Illinois, Lark was elected to serve as the 2018-2019 Toastmasters International President. During that same year, two marketing campaigns were introduced, MyWhy and Wow Factor for Clubs. Lark is known for wearing golden outfits at the Toastmasters events to symbolize the value of Toastmasters. Please welcome our golden keynote speaker, past international president, Lark Doley.
Wow, it is golden to be back home. I started my Toastmasters journey in District 56 more than 30 years ago, although it seems like yesterday. I fulfilled my first MyWhy within District 56. I spent my first 7 years in Toastmasters in District 56. But District 56 grew too large, and we had to split the district into District 55 and District 56. I became the first district governor, now known as district director, of District 55. I began my club journey in the Today Toastmasters Club, a wow factor club. And I am proud to say that Today Toastmasters is still going strong. In fact, they have a club meeting tonight that I am missing. Now, I want to find out about your MyWhy, and I want us to explore wow factor clubs. I am honored to have as my chat master tonight, none other than past international director, current 2021-2022 Region 2 advisor, distinguished Toastmaster, Pamela McCown, better known to me as one of my best friends in the universe, Pam. She is my lifelong friend, and I can't imagine life without her. So thank you for that golden introduction, Pam. And I am so honored that we are going to have fun interacting during this session tonight with all of our attendees tonight. Let's begin. MyWhy. And now I want to find out about your MyWhy. So let's start interacting in the chat. The first question that I want you to answer in the chat, and let's be succinct, is why did you join Toastmasters? Or if you have been in Toastmasters 5 years or longer, why do you stay? Now is your opportunity to type your answer into the chat. And to give you a minute to do that, I will tell you about my first MyWhy. That was, I was an entrepreneur and I needed to speak to investors about my company. I wanted to be able to speak articulately to male investors because back then, those were the only gender of investors there were. I gained those communication skills and actually did get some investment capital for my company. My current MyWhy is to stay in this organization and share the gold of Toastmasters for as long as I can. Madam Chatmaster, what are they saying in the chat is their MyWhy or why they say?
Leadership development, leadership opportunities, roped in by management. Joined because my wife was a Toastmaster, to win against my sister when giving speeches, to improve my public speaking. There's a lot of those.
Okay. All right, one more. Is there anything that stands out, any unique thing that anyone has said?
I am staying in Toastmasters because you can never stop learning and growing.
Ah, I love that one. Great way to end. So let's look at the next one. Have you gained your MyWhy? So in the chat, you can simply type in why in, not yet if you'd like, but have you gained your MyWhy? I will tell you, I certainly have gained my first MyWhy and my second MyWhy, but my second one will continue forever as long as I am in Toastmasters. Pam, are we seeing more yeses, more no's?
Overwhelming yes. There are a few that say yes, and it's still ongoing. Yes, but I'm still on my journey.
And we want you to stay on your journey for a lifetime, right, Pam? You and I we're both lifers, I think.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So our third question is, what is a wow factor club? I want you to type into the chat your definition of a wow factor club. And if you've never heard the term before tonight, that's fine. Just guess. As Pam said in the introduction, the MyWhy campaign and the Wow Factor campaign were during my year as Toastmasters president in 2018 and 2019. I loved those campaigns, and there's no reason for them to end. You can continue the MyWhy campaign and the Wow Factor campaign in your specific club, as a district, in the world. Pam, what are their responses?
Put members first, fun and engaging meetings, exciting club members, club with positive energy. As a member, you do whatever it takes not to miss the meeting.
Oh, that's a good one.
Personal stories is another one.
All right, great. Well, those are great answers, and we'll talk more about the wow factor throughout our session tonight. Why should all our clubs be wow factor clubs? So type into the chat why you think all Toastmasters clubs should be wow factor clubs. And while you're doing that, I will tell you that the first element of a wow factor club is to be a quality club. The second factor of a wow factor club is, what is your wow? What is your unique quality? What is your value proposition? That's what a wow factor club is. So, Pam, what are they saying as far as why all clubs should be wow factor clubs?
Because wow factor clubs are successful. And what other way is there?
Those are two brilliant answers. I think we can stop with those. Those are golden. The next question is your club a wow factor club? You do not need to type this into the chat, but we do want every club to be a wow factor club. So if it is a wow factor club, congratulations. If it isn't a wow factor club, then how can it become one? Throughout our session tonight, we will be talking about wow factors to make your club a wow club. First, MyWhy. If you type into the Toastmasters International website, MyWhy, this is what you will find. MyWhy is all about sharing your story with your club and with the world to inspire others to join Toastmasters. When I think about MyWhy, and I think about my club members, I have to ask this question. Do you know the MyWhy of each member of your club? You should. And it is absolutely necessary that the Vice President Membership and Vice President Education know the MyWhy of each member of the club. Why? Because they need to ensure that every single member achieves their MyWhy. And when they finish achieving their first MyWhy, then we need to ask them what their next MyWhy is and make sure that they achieve that one next. The wow factor project. If you write in wow factor into the Toastmasters International website, this is what you will see. And it does say that this campaign is over, but there's no reason why we can't continue to use the wow factor resources and continue to encourage every club to share their uniqueness, their specialty, their value proposition. So again, I want you to think about that. What makes your club special? What makes your club unique? I have visited so many clubs around the world, and I want to visit so many more. Every club is unique. You need to think about your unique qualities, and you need to capitalize on those. What is your value proposition? Now, I do want each of you to type into the chat your club's value proposition. What sets your club apart from every other club? And as you're doing that, I'll mention a few things to you. Corporate clubs have a uniqueness simply by being affiliated with a corporation. And if they are a closed club, then obviously their value proposition is to help support the communication and leadership development of the employees within that corporation. And it is imperative that corporate clubs have corporate champions. Did you notice I put an S on that? Not just one corporate champion, but multiple corporate champions. In Austin, I helped to charter a Toastmasters club that has 3 corporate champions. And if any of those corporate champions leave the company, are promoted out of that unit, then they replace that corporate champion. They send regular communications to that corporate champion. In fact, what they do makes it so easy. They simply send them their club newsletter. That keeps them informed about the club and the members' achievements. It's a brilliant way to maintain those corporate champions. So corporate clubs are unique because of the corporation, the agency, the university, whatever entity they're associated with. What about community clubs? Well, community clubs used to have a geographic uniqueness. Now with online clubs, there's not the geography, but there still is that community environment. And some community clubs are specialty clubs, right? Pam, what are they saying in the chat is their club's value proposition? Pam, can you hear me?
Excuse me, I'm just talking away on mute.
All right, sorry. Go ahead.
All right. Katie Toastmaster says diversity of membership. Dining Out says 30 DTMs and dedication to excellence in leadership. Help each other grow on their journey. Corporate club helping to make leaders out of employees.
And give me one more.
We have care team calls, a care team that calls our members just to check in on them.
Ooh, I love that one.
I like
That's
the care team.
Yeah, that's a great way to end it. So I want to show a picture of a club that has a specialty, a uniqueness. And Pam, talk a little bit more about this club in Houston.
Oh, talk about wow, Pensadores de Houston in the house. They are the original Spanish-speaking club in Houston. And this club has really built a name for itself in Houston, with many of the leaders coming out into the district to serve in various capacities. And this club is like the star in the crown as far as our Spanish-speaking clubs. They're awesome.
Thank you so much. All right, so an example of a WOW club in District 56. You can all model this club. I said the first element of any wow factor club is to be a quality club. But what is your definition of a quality club? It's now your opportunity to type into the chat your definition of what a quality club is. And while you're doing that, I think about all the clubs of which I've been a member over the last 30 years. I've been a member of several clubs, and I will sadly say that some of those clubs are no longer in existence. But I'm happy to say that my first Toastmasters club, Today Toastmasters, and a club that was spawned from that club, Arthur Store Toastmasters, are both alive and well and doing great. And I believe that it begins with dedicated officers. Pam, what are they saying in the chat?
Well, you have somebody that says officers and members working together, models moments of truth, member attendance, member participation.
Brilliant.
Supporting all members in achieving their goals.
Great.
Ultimately, exciting meetings.
All right, that's a great way to end. So let's look at the Toastmasters definition, or one of the Toastmasters definitions. A high quality club encourages and celebrates member achievement, provides a supportive and fun environment, and offers a professionally organized meeting with variety. Club officers are trained in all aspects of club quality to ensure that members receive a formal mentoring program, are provided with evaluations that help them grow, and are motivated to achieve their goals. That is the Toastmasters definition. Every Wow Factor club needs to begin as a quality club. Is your club a quality club by the definitions that you've entered into the chat and by this definition? Ultimately, when guests attend your meetings, do they want to join at the end of it? And by the way, do you ask them to join? I can't tell you how many club meetings I've attended around the world. They've introduced me as a guest, but at the end, they don't ask me if I'm interested in joining. You must ask your guests to join. Otherwise, why should they? This is a definition of quality club that Jonathan Dean wrote in 2015. Interestingly enough, he is a district director this year. I didn't know back in 2015 that he would continue in leadership, but I'm glad he did. This definition of quality clubs is one that I have kept with me since visiting District 5 back in 2015. It starts with a clear vision, empowering leadership, open communication, passion to continue on the journey, reflection to share success and acknowledge failures, and hope to move on when overwhelmed. The vision which began the journey is needed throughout to know how to continue and how to work as a team towards success. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that golden? I love this definition and have used it and shared it since 2015. Do you know the hierarchy of Toastmasters International? Do you know that at the top of our organizational chart is the member? And when you look at this, do you understand that members join clubs? Clubs are organized into areas, areas into divisions, divisions into districts, districts into regions, and then the strategic arm of the organization is the board of directors. All of us are volunteers in this organization, but we have a golden paid world headquarters staff in Englewood, Colorado to support all of us. So at the top of our organizational chart is the member, and every one of these structures supports that member. So if we look at this structure, the club is the foundational element of our organization. Members join clubs. Then, as I said, clubs are formed into areas, areas into divisions, divisions into districts, and there are currently 123 districts worldwide. Districts are formed into regions. There are 14 regions currently worldwide. Then the board of directors makes the strategic decisions for our organization, and all of us are supported by the world headquarters staff. Do you know the club mission by heart? Do you print the club mission on your weekly agendas? I hope you do. It is a powerful club mission. And again, it is all about supporting the members and ensuring that they achieve their MyWhy in Toastmasters. By the way, is the photograph of this club known to any of you? Well, this is the Dining Out Toastmasters Club, and they were obviously having a great time during this meeting. They were using some of the video filters available with Zoom, and then some of them may have put on their own regalia, but we are to have fun at our Toastmasters meetings. Never forget that. Ralph Smedley said that we learn best in times of enjoyment. You have a club mission, but what is the vision of your club? What is your image of your future? What do you aspire for your club to become? We are near the end of April. There are 2 more months in this Toastmasters year. What was your vision for your club this year? Will you achieve that by the end of June? And what is your vision for your club next year? So I want you to think about the vision of your club, and I want you to succinctly type that into the chat. So you've talked about wow factor. You've talked about your uniqueness, your value proposition. But what did you want to achieve this year? And are you on track? And you'll see a picture of Memorial City Toastmasters Club. Pam told me about them, and that when they met in person, they actually had a picture of a mountain, and they had each member's name. And as the members began achieving their MyWhy, they would step toward the top of the mountain, and they would reach the top of the mountain. I assume that once they achieved that goal, they'd go back down to the bottom of the mountain and then they would climb back up. But obviously they had a vision for every member of their club. What about you? Pam, what are they typing into the chat as far as their vision for their club?
I guess someone in Memorial City says, yes, peaks. I remember that vision board. We started at base camp and climbed the mountain. So that was the first base camp, I guess. We want to be 10 for 10 on Distinguished Club. We'll be President's Distinguished. Get more people speaking. And we want to be better than we were yesterday.
All right. Wonderful. Golden, Pam. And what is the vision of a Wow Factor Club? Fascinating that one of you mentioned 10 out of 10. So this is a photograph of Katie Toastmasters, and it also has their dashboard information. They are already 10 out of 10, and that is their vision year after year. Now, they may have another vision, but that is at least one of their visions, and they have been successful in achieving that for many years. So I applaud you for your vision of achieving 10 out of 10 in the Distinguished Club program. But why do we want to achieve 10 out of 10 in the Distinguished Club program? It's not about the Distinguished Club program. It's about the fact if we achieve all of the goals in the Distinguished Club program, that means that our members are achieving their MyWhy. It also means that we are sharing Toastmasters because we are gaining more members into our clubs, sharing the gold of Toastmasters. It means that we are training our club officers and we are taking taking care of the administrative functions of our Toastmasters Club. That's what achieving 10 out of 10 means. There are 3 golden keys to a wow factor club. These are the 3 golden keys we will discuss tonight. The member is our number 1 priority. Club success and quality meetings. If we achieve gold in each of these areas, then we have a wow factor club. Let's look at the member is our number 1 priority. Pearland Toastmasters Club. It's my understanding that you're very good at meeting member needs. And by the way, I'm very proud of that because I lived in Friendswood, Texas for a long time. That's where I went to high school. That's where my parents lived until their death in 2000, and about the year 2000. So I spent many wonderful years in Friendswood, Texas, which is right next door to Pearland, Texas. So Pearland Toastmasters, congratulations on meeting your members' needs. And how do you do that? Well, the first step is to have every new member fill out a member interest survey. And every member should fill out a member interest survey on an annual basis because our goals should change annually. But as soon as a new member joins, they need to complete this member interest survey. And then when we have a new member join, we need to orient them into the Toastmasters journey. I love the fact that Greenway Plaza Toastmasters Club sent a picture of a new member induction. And Pam also told me that Greenway Plaza Toastmasters Club chartered in January 2020, right before the pandemic. And by June 30th, 2020, they had achieved President's Distinguished Toastmasters Club, the highest distinguished club status there is as a new Toastmasters Club. So congratulations, Greenway Plaza Toastmasters Club, on that achievement and on this beautiful picture of a new member induction. I also want to tell you that I was a member of 2 clubs the year before I was to become president. I was not a member of Today Toastmasters Club, my initial club, because I'd been traveling so much for my work profession that I had dropped out of that club because I could not be an active member in the club. Before I became president, I wanted to rejoin them for multiple reasons, because I missed them, but also I wanted them to receive a banner that had my name on it, because that's where I started my journey. But before I joined, I had to go to a new member orientation. And I want to let you know that Lorraine Boyden looked me eyeball to eyeball and said, Lark, you must be an active member of this club. Otherwise, we will not accept your membership. So Toastmasters new member orientations are very, very important and very effective, by the way. So does your club have a new member orientation program and a formal induction ceremonies? A Wow Factor club would. Pathways. To achieve our MyWhy, we have to get busy in participating in the Pathways program. This is where we gain those communication and leadership skills. 11 paths, over 300 competencies that we can gain. We are so fortunate that we launched Pathways before the pandemic. Are each of you actively involved in Pathways? For those of you who are members, before the end of the year 2020, did you accept your free path in Pathways? I hope so. And are you recognizing Pathways achievements with member badges, with Pathways pins, with recognition during your club meetings? Are you acknowledging their level completions? And are you being sure that in Club Central, you enter those pathways achievements and enter them in Basecamp as well. Member focus. The member is our number one priority. And if the member is our number one priority, then we will have increased membership retention, new members. Members will be empowered with self-confidence. They will be achieving their educational achievements, which is their MyWhy, developing leadership skills. The club will be excellent because the members are meeting their MyWhy, and clubs will be distinguished as a result. The member is our number one priority. Our second golden key is club success. And club success begins with dedicated and trained club officers. Did all of your club officers attend district officer training this year? Did all 7 of you attend those district-sponsored club officer trainings? If not, why not? I'm sure you had multiple opportunities to do so. Are you dedicated to your club and to its success? There are so many resources, so many tools out on the Toastmasters website. They begin with every single month. As a club officer, you receive a club leader letter. Are you reading that as a club leader? It has so much information about actions, deadlines, resources, articles, information from our organization, good to know information. Have you taken advantage of looking at the club officer roles, viewing the summary, viewing the tutorials that are there, in addition to attending that district club officer training? And have you taken advantage of the latest self-assessments for our club officers? I am so proud of this. We, during my term as an international officer, developed these self-evaluations for our club leaders. We knew that we already evaluate speeches at every one of our club meetings, all of the projects within Pathways, but what about leader evaluations? We knew that we needed them, and they are now available to you. And by the way, there are 360-degree evaluations available to you and to our district leaders. I think you can use the self-evaluations as a 360 evaluation if you want to, but we have separate 360 evaluations for you to use as well. Club leaders, are you evaluating your leadership skills? And are you asking those with whom you serve as leaders or with your club members about your leadership skills and how you can improve? We want you to improve those communication skills, but we also want to improve your leadership skills as well. A Wow Factor club will make sure that their club leaders are improving their leadership skills. Have you filled out your club success plan? Have you looked at your Distinguished Club program and the goals within that Distinguished Club program and identified those who will achieve their educational goals? Have you also identified the public relations that you need to do in order to promote your club, to have guests coming in the door, and then to have your vice president membership turning those guests into members? Have you fulfilled the training requirements and the administrative requirements of the Distinguished Club program? Well, I certainly hope that you have, or at least that you are on your journey to complete them no later than June 30th of this year. The Club Success Plan. Every set of club officers for every club needs to be sure that annually you complete that club success plan, and that you don't put it on the shelf, but that again, you make sure that you are implementing that plan and achieving the goals that you set in that plan. The Club Executive Committee. Did you know that this was the Club Executive Committee? And are you conducting Club Executive Committee meetings? Well, if you are, how often are you conducting Club Executive Committee meetings? You should be conducting these at least on a monthly basis, but as often as needed to be sure that you are setting your goals, that you are tracking those goals, that you are changing course as needed in order to achieve those goals, to ensure that you are a wow factor club. Leadership Central. This is the place where you will, as club officers, ensure that you are keeping all of the information about your members and their achievements up to date, that you are logging in new members, that you are ensuring that all of the pathways achievements have been taken care of, and that you are keeping the club demographic information and administrative information up to date. The fact that we are online clubs now, did you enter that amendment into your standard club options? And finally, not only is the Toastmasters International website an incredibly golden resource for you, but your District 56 website has incredible resources for you as well to ensure club success, the second golden key to wow factor clubs. The third golden key is quality club meetings. I love the Be Toasty Bunch. By the way, I grew up, yes, in the Brady Bunch era. So when I saw this, I loved this. And now it's time for us to interact in the chat again with our golden chat master, Pam McCown. Your first question is, who is responsible for quality club meetings? So I want you to enter into the chat, who is responsible for quality club meetings? Go ahead, enter your answer into the chat, and Pam, let's see if they answer correctly. Let me know the answers as you see them appear.
Tell you what, Lark, there's a lot of people that think it's every club member, all officers and members, all of us. I think that's the answer. What do you think?
Okay. Well, that is brilliant. This was really supposed to be a trick question, but I should have known I couldn't trick District 56. Absolutely. The answer is every member of the club. Every member of the club. By the way, there are guests that also encourage people to attend Toastmasters club meetings. I have a friend who encourages people to attend club meetings around the world. The next question, what resources are available to promote quality club meetings? So let's see what you think about this one. I've told you a lot in the previous section, so let's see if you enter that or if you enter something else. So what resources are available to promote quality club meetings? Let's see if you answer this correctly. Pam, as they answer this, go ahead and read out their answers.
Leader Letter, Club Success Series, the agenda, the Toastmasters website, Free Toast Host website, TI website and district website, training by the district, other clubs.
Great idea. Absolutely. Absolutely. You have the opportunity to attend club meetings around the world. By the way, my Arthur Storer Toastmasters Club, I'm the Sergeant at Arms, and we are visiting the world. We're not visiting 145 clubs in 145 countries like our international president, but we are visiting clubs around the world. And this past weekend, we held a joint meeting with a Toastmasters club in Australia and had a golden time. Absolutely. The resources on the Toastmasters website, the resources on the District 56 website, Area council meetings where you share best practices among the clubs in your area. Visiting other clubs worldwide. You can learn a wealth of information by visiting other Toastmasters clubs. So I love that answer. Let's look at the next question. How do you ensure quality club meetings? So now that we have the resources available to us, how do we ensure that we are conducting quality club meetings? As they enter the answers into the chat, Pam, go ahead and read them off.
Be prepared for the meeting, use the resources, planning ahead, having a checklist, moments of truth, follow the moments of truth, I think moments of truth, evaluating meetings, growth of each member, evaluations, have speakers sign up for fun table topics, have an agenda. Oh, there's a good one.
All right. Thank you so much. Those were golden responses. And absolutely, we are going to share some of those responses right now. You need to have a club meeting management tool. You can use Free Toast Host. I will tell you that Easy Speak is one of the tools that my clubs use. But whether it is Free Toast Host or Easy Speak, I encourage you to use a club management tool. These tools are both golden. I know some clubs that are using spreadsheets, and obviously you're welcome to do that as well. But these two club management meeting tools are available for you. Online clubs. Look at this golden wow factor club, another club that I have a photograph of. Beautifully done. Look at this. I love your backgrounds, your clothes, fantastic. What are some of the benefits of online clubs? Now I want you to enter into the chat. We've been in this online world for a year now. What have you found are some of the benefits of meeting online? Enter those benefits into the chat. As they enter them, Pam, go ahead and read off their answers.
Easy access, no borders, diversity. People can join from anywhere. You learn to use tools for the virtual new world. I can visit many clubs and not worry about traffic. Virtual backgrounds, visiting the world.
Beautiful. I will tell you that I remember Houston traffic. I used to drive in it. I used to live in Friendswood and I actually worked in Houston. So I know about Houston traffic. I will tell you that Austin traffic can match Houston traffic any day. So both of those cities, I totally agree with you. The fact that we do not have to get into our cars to visit a Toastmasters club is absolutely a golden benefit of online clubs. Another club, storytellers. So once again, think about their value proposition, right? Storytelling. And let's look at some of the benefits in addition to the ones that you mentioned. Absolutely. Our organization is borderless now. There's no travel time. And by the way, if you want to visit a club on the spur of the moment, you can do that. If someday you're down and you want a cheer up, then just show up at a Toastmasters club. You can join clubs outside of District 56. And by the way, when those global guests come visit your club, you better ask them if they want to join your club. Remember, ask if they want to join your club. Online meeting tools. There is a whole separate section now on the Toastmasters website about online meeting tools. Sugarland Toastmasters Club has taken advantage of the online meeting tools that are available out on the Toastmasters website, right? Sugarland Toastmasters? I'm sure you have. And then when I think about online club meetings, I love the fact that we can start the meeting in advance, that we can socialize with members and guests. I love to ask guests why they are visiting us, where they heard about us, what they want to gain from Toastmasters. And we can socialize before or after the meeting. During the meeting, we do have some standard guidelines about Zoom meetings in order to make those Zoom meetings productive. And every club has different guidelines, some different guidelines for that. Timer backgrounds. I love different timer backgrounds. And again, you decide how you conduct some of these elements of online meetings. But I want to tell you that during one of these educational sessions, a member said, what about having a creative background? And at the very next meeting, I decided that since it was spring, I used green clover for green, I used yellow tulips for yellow, and I used red roses for red. It was so much fun. But what about having theme meetings and asking everyone to download a background with that theme? Wow factor background for this session? What do you think? Start and end your meetings with a social time, and always take a digital photograph of each club meeting, and then have your VPPR send out that photograph along with a summary of your meeting to encourage all the members to be sure and show up next time. These are just some of the things that you can do with online meetings. Hybrid meetings. So it's my understanding that Sci-Fair, Super Speakers, and Woodlands may already be conducting hybrid meetings. How will your club adjust to after pandemic situations? Will you have in-person meetings only? Will you have hybrid meetings? Will you continue to have online meetings only? What is your plan? I want you to type into the chat, after the pandemic, what is your plan? Online meetings only, hybrid meetings, in-person meetings only. Type into the chat what your club will do after the pandemic. While you're doing that, I want to tell you a very interesting hybrid idea, and this came out of England. Some of the buildings in England where they hold their in-person Toastmasters meetings do not have internet capabilities. So some of the clubs there have told me their plan is to hold an in-person meeting one week, an online meeting the next week, an in-person meeting the next week, an online meeting the week after. So that's how they are going to enforce hybrid meetings. Very different. Certainly wasn't what I expected. Pam, what are they saying in the chat? What are they going to do after the pandemic?
Yearwood says they're going to have hybrid meetings starting in June. This club says one is likely to be online only, other as if we don't have equipment to be hybrid. Some people say hybrid. Katie Toastmasters is hybrid. We're thinking about a combination of online and in-person. And I hope that Be Toasty and Sci-Fair Super Speakers remain hybrid, as we now have remote members.
Wonderful. I hope that all clubs will consider how they can have hybrid meetings, and have hybrid meetings for each of their meetings or for some of their meetings. And just has been said, if you have a global membership, or if you have disabled members who have difficulty in getting to your meetings, then think about the benefits of hybrid meetings. In the last Toastmasters magazine, they had an article about hybrid meetings. I encourage you to get those technology wizards to figure out how you can have hybrid meetings going forward after the pandemic. That will be a wow factor. How do you determine if your club is a wow factor club? This club quality checklist was printed in the Toastmasters magazine and is still available on the Toastmasters International website. I encourage you to give this to all your members and ask them to complete it, and for you and the club officers to complete it, and to then gather the results of the survey and review them. Find out your strengths and find out your areas of improvement. This is an excellent club quality checklist. And as someone has already mentioned, or more than one of you has already mentioned in the chat, the moments of truth. This allows you to, again, evaluate your club and its quality, and the quality of your club meetings. The first impressions are so critical when a guest enters your meeting room. Think about these ways to evaluate your club meetings and your club's quality. How often do you conduct an open house? Well, UHCL conducts an open house. And how often does your club conduct an open house? Do you recognize best speaker, best evaluator, best table topics? One or more of these? Do you acknowledge your new members? Do you induct your new members? Do you recognize level achievements and pathways? Do you acknowledge the club when they achieve different aspects of the Distinguished Club program? Do you discuss them, acknowledge them, talk about them? Recognition is a golden key to wow factor clubs. These are the 3 golden keys to wow factor clubs. I want you to wow your members and your guests. I want you to fulfill the first MyWhy of your members, the second MyWhy of your members, and every MyWhy afterwards. Is your club a wow club? I hope that if it isn't, you will make it one. And certainly, Mente Abierta Toastmasters Club, they're a wow factor club who downloaded the wow factor background and took a photograph of it. Talk about a wow factor club, pure gold. It has been my golden honor to be with you today. It is golden to be back home. There truly is no place like home. I want to thank my golden chat master tonight, my dear friend, Pam McCown. Thank you, Pam. And thank you, District 56, for inviting me to present this session for you tonight. And now I will return control to Carol Caraway. Thank you, District 56.
Thank you, Lark. What a wonderful educational session. We enjoyed that. Now, your next opportunity to learn some things, we're going to have the art of the hybrid meeting, and we're also going to have a panel discussion with past contest winners from the district and the world stage. So buckle up, everybody. Take your 5-minute break and go to one of your meetings and have a fabulous time.